We are in medical terminology number 10. If you didn't see any of these videos before, and there are another 9 videos just before this one. So let's go. Osmotic demyelination syndrome, rapid osmotic changes, most commonly iatrogenic correction of hyponatremia. This means that they are trying to correct hyponatremia or low sodium, but by mistake, this has been done, iatrogenic correction, but also rapid shift of other osmolytes like in glucose. What will happen? Massive axonal demyelination in pontine white matter, means the bones of brainstem. Acute inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. It is a subtype of Guillain-Barré syndrome, and we know that Guillain-Barré syndrome is ascending paralysis, starting from distal up to proximal. Is an autoimmune destruction of Schwann cells. Schwann cells, these are the cells which is around neurons and nerve cells, which facilitates the conduction of neuronal impulse via inflammation and demyelination of motor and sensory fibers and peripheral nerves, likely facilitated by molecular mimicry and triggered by in occlusions or stress. Molecular mimicry is a phenomena. Sometimes, the body recognized a good cell similar to a bad thing and starts to attack. That we have different types of this, like in rheumatic fever. This is another example of molecular mimicry. Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease is a defective production of proteins involved in the structure and function of peripheral nerves or the myelin sheath. Okay, so the defective production of proteins. Progressive multifocal leukoencephalopathy. It is a destruction of oligodendrites. Oligodendrites is similar to Schwann cells, but Schwann cells is responsible for formation of myelin sheath in the peripheral nerves. Oligodendrites is responsible for formation of myelin sheath, but in the central nervous system. To secondary to reactivation of latent GC virus infection lead to demyelination of the central nervous system. Is Storch-Weber syndrome, sorry, somatic mosaicism of an activating mutation in one copy of the GNAQ gene, congenital anomaly of neural crest derivatives lead to capillary vascular malformation, ipsilateral leptomeningeal angioma, and with calcifications, and episcleral hemangioma. Pituitary adenoma is a benign tumor, hyperplasia of only one type of endocrine cells found in pituitary, most commonly from prolactin producing lacto trophs, because we know that the pituitary is developing a lot of hormones, so this is one of them. Poly, poliomyelitis is a poliovirus infection which would be eradicated in most of the world. Poliovirus infection spreads from lymphoid tissue of oropharynx to small intestine, then to the central nervous system via bloodstream, lead to cell destruction in anterior, which cells affected? Anterior horn of the spinal cord, lead to lower motor neuron death. Spinal muscular atrophy, congenital degeneration of anterior horns. It is this one is congenital. It is not like in poliomyelitis viral infection. This one is congenital. It's the same anterior horn, okay, but it's different mechanism. Due to SMN1 mutation, lead to defective SNRNB assembly, lead to lower motor neuron apoptosis. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis This is an upper and lower motor neuron degeneration, combined upper motor neuron and lower motor neuron degeneration. Familial from associated with SOD1 mutation. Tabes dorsalis degeneration, demyelination of dorsal columns and roots, like in tertiary syphilis, because we have primary, secondary, and tertiary syphilis. Okay, lead to progressive sensory ataxia, impaired proprioception, and poor coordination. Friedreich ataxia is trinucleotide repeat. It is one of hereditary diseases. GAA, this is a repeat which will be increased on chromosome number 9 in frataxin gene, iron binding protein, lead to impaired mitochondrial function, degeneration of lateral corticospinal tract, spinocerebellar tract, dorsal column, dorsal root ganglia. Noise-induced hearing loss. This is a damage to stereociliated cells in an organ of corti, loss of high-frequency hearing first. Presbycusis is an aging, when we get old, related progressive bilateral symmetric sensorineural hearing loss, often of higher frequencies due to destruction of hair cells at the cochlear base. Okay. Cholesteatoma, abnormal growth of keratinized squamous epithelium in middle ear. Okay. Primary from tympanic membrane retraction, bucket, or secondary from tympanic membrane perforation. Okay, perforation. Meniere's disease, increase in endolymph in inner ear. Remember, we have, middle ear, inner ear, lead to vertigo, sensorineural hearing loss, tinnitus, and ear fullness. Myopia is eye too long for refractive power of cornea and lens, lead to light focused in front of retina. Light will be focused in front of retina. Why? Because eye is too long for refractive power of cornea. This is myopia. Hyperopia is eye too short. So this is the opposite. So hyperopia, eye is too short, okay, for refractive power of cornea and lens. Light focused behind retina. Behind retina. Okay. Astigmatism, irregular or asymmetric curvature of cornea or lens, different refractive power at different axes. And this was it for episode number 10. Thank you.